Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Inspired and Empowered Living TV show and podcast. We are live Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern on talk4tv.com, w4wn.com, and my YouTube channel. And today we will be talking about your top skills, coping skills for stress and anxiety. Learn powerful techniques for peace and balance. And we're going to dive into powerful, practical coping skills to manage stress and anxiety in today's fast-paced world. Discover expert techniques to deal with stress or major life changes. Learn how to calm your mind, build resilience, find inner balance, boost your mental health, and empower yourself to face changes with greater ease. So, if you're ready to move from overwhelmed to grounded, this episode is your guide to a more peaceful, balanced, inspired, and empowered life. Together, let's create a life you love. And I'm your host, Nanci Deutsch, a licensed clinical social worker, certified hypnotherapist, and intuitive breakthrough expert. I combine my counseling, coaching, and intuitive abilities to transform your life. And this show is not a replacement for therapy or counseling. It is for educational purposes only. And I see that we have Allie in the house. Good morning, Allie. And I want to answer the questions from last week. And I also want to jump into this week's show. So I'm going to be weaving in the questions as well as the ones that come in today, because I want to make sure that you know I'm answering all the questions. Love answering your questions. So, top coping skills. So why do we need coping skills? What are coping skills? Well, coping skills are strategies and techniques to deal with stress, anxiety. It's being able to deal with difficult emotions, challenging situations. And what happens is when you have effective coping skills, it helps you process through your whatever the issues, whatever's going on for you, and it helps you to move through them in a more easier, perhaps gentler way. And here's the thing, sometimes it may not always be so gentle, but coping skills help you to be able to navigate your transitions, the changes and transitions that every single one of us faces in our lives. And when you have effective coping skills, healthy coping skills. So what do I mean by effective and healthy coping skills? First of all, we all learned, most of us learned unhealthy coping skills. So unhealthy coping skills are addictive behaviors. Many of us, when we were growing up, turned to food. And perhaps as we got older, some of you may have turned to alcohol or drugs or gambling or other types of addictive behaviors. And the bottom line is, those are the behaviors that healthy coping skills will help you to deal with so that you're not going down that road and you can actually deal with difficult situations in healthier ways. So the way that I define healthy coping skills is basically that you are doing skills or strategies, techniques that are positive, that perhaps maybe inspire you or empower you or help you to feel better. They help you to feel more peaceful, help you to feel more balanced, help you to calm your nervous system down and be able to take deeper breaths. And of course, one of the biggest coping skills that I've always talked about, and we talked about it, was breathing. Is breathing. It's not a was, it is, because breathing can help you all the time. So it's really about learning all different kinds of techniques, including breathing. And last week I talked about progressive muscle relaxation. And that's really what it is you tense your muscles and then relax them, and you go through your whole body. And we were also talking about sometimes you may not have time to go through your whole body. So if there's certain places where you're noticing that you're really stressed, those are the places that I suggest that you start with relaxing those muscles. Like very often, jaw and shoulders. How many of you end up getting so much tension in your shoulders? That happens to many of us. I know from example. So, and then we also talked about journaling. And so those were a few of the skills that we talked about last week. And I'm going to go deeper into more this week. So let's just get to some of the questions from last week. Anastasia said, how many should we try for each situation? And really the answer is however many you need. Like I said in the past to write a list, to make a list of all the different coping skills that you can think of. Skills that I'll be talking about today. Healthy coping skills that excuse me, healthy coping skills that you've used in the past. So make a list. And if one doesn't work immediately, then do the next one. What you're looking for is feeling perhaps more relaxed, feeling more peaceful, or feeling like you've shifted the stress energy or the anxiety so that you can function more effectively. Because what happens when we are stressed, when we are anxious, our nervous system shuts down and we're not able to function effectively, depending on how stressed you are. So really learning to be able to try new skills and do new skills. So do as many as you need to when you finally feel that you've calmed yourself down or you're feeling more peaceful, more relaxed, then you can either go to the next one or you can continue on with your day. It's whatever works for you. Okay, this is about what's going to work for you. And that's the bottom line. And what you're looking for is feeling more peaceful, feeling calmer, allowing yourself to be able to continue your day in a more effective way when you use coping skills that help you de-stress and reduce anxiety. Okay. So, and Country Corners Gazette asked, how long do you have to try them before moving on to the next one to see if it will work? So I leave that up to you. So sometimes you will start to do a technique and you're liking it. And if you're liking it, you continue on. But if it's not feeling comfortable or just doesn't feel like it's the right thing for you in that moment, stop it and try the next one. So it really, it depends on you. And it depends on what you're feeling and what you're needing. And so it's really about you learning to tune in. Does this feel good? Let me try this a few more minutes. Let me work on this. Or, oh, I'm not liking this. I need to move to the next one. So really, it's about you discovering what's going to work for you. Bottom line, does this, and the way that you can see if the healthy coping mechanism works or the skill, excuse me, getting over being sick. Uh, so anyway, so I'm sorry, coughing, maybe coughing, whatever. Anyway, so really tune into you and see what works for you. Misty asks, do people develop other non-conventional ways to cope with things? Yes, people do. They're non-conventional. So I guess I'm curious what you mean by non-conventional. So anything that will work for you that's healthier. Look, I don't know if this is non-conventional, but I love my oracle cards and I tune into my intuition. If I'm feeling stressed, tune in and I get a message from my oracle cards. And so that may not be a conventional way, but it works for me. And it's always really helpful, really powerful for me to help me discover more of what I need to know about perhaps the day ahead, the situation that I'm feeling stressed and anxious about. So, and I'm not thinking of another unconventional, but if you have any other ideas, Misty, definitely let us know because I'd love to hear what you were thinking. So if you find other non-conventional coping skills, by all means, go for it. As long as it's positive, it's helping you, it's supporting you, moving you forward. Okay. And Misty also asked, how would you know you have created one for yourself? And are you making your own healthy? Okay, so when you're in the process of doing a coping skill and it's a healthy one, it's supporting you. It's supporting you either body, mind, emotion, spirit, helping you to calm down and feel more peaceful. And you how do you know that it's healthy? It's healthy when it's supportive of your body, mind, emotions, and spirit. If it's not, then 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 it may not be a healthy coping skill. And how do you know you've created one for yourself? Again, it's about tuning into you and about seeing if this is helping you to calm down and using non-conventional ways can definitely be helpful. Look, when I do my oracle cards, I it inspires me. It makes me feel better. I get really excited sometimes. Sometimes I may get cards I don't particularly like, but I may need to hear. So if you find something that you're doing that's helping you in any way, shape, or form to feel better, to cope better, then go for it. Okay. And again, that doesn't mean taking substances that may be harmful, but it may be taking vitamins or healthy, healthy things for your body. So just want to clarify that. So let's talk about coping skills. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate coping skills. We're going to name a few coping skills, physical coping skills, and then we'll do emotional and mental, and all of these can be used together. Like I said, You could try one and see how it works. And then if it's not working for you, you try the next one and the next one and the next one. So let's talk physical coping skills. Because very often when you're stressed, you may need to move your body. You probably do need to move your body. Okay. And I see the question came, they saying healthy while coughing is not easy. Hope you feel better. Thank you, Country Corners. I appreciate you. So it's about being able to move your body. And moving your body is a really healthy, powerful coping skill. And it may be one of the first ones you try. So some of you may love to exercise. Now, some of you may like to go to the gym. Some of you may like to take a walk out in nature. That's 2 in 1. Walking and is physical and also being in nature. Because nature can be a powerful coping skill, getting you outside and helping you to calm your energy. So definitely. And also, if you are, how many of you like to dance? Dance it out. Dance out your stress. And you can dance at home. You can take dancing classes. So dancing would definitely be a positive coping skill that will help you move the energy through your body. And what you want that is moving the energy. And Misty says, now that is a good one. All right. Thank you, Misty. I'm glad you like that one. And it's really about allowing, let's say you're feeling really stressed or you're feeling really angry. One of the best ways is to move the stress or the anger through your body. Like I said, doing exercise, dancing, or walking, and allowing yourself to move the energy and feeling what I support clients to do is to intend. Let's say you're walking and you're doing a power walk and you intend that you're releasing the anger. Remember to breathe through it. Breathing always helps in every way. Even if you're doing other things, you can combine the breathing to help you release the energy. And when you're releasing the energy of anger, because really, feelings, emotions, they are energy that actually wants to move. Emotion wants to actually move through your body. So finding a way to physically move your energy can really be helpful. Now, some of you may like to do yoga. Maybe it's stretching and stretching your body. So that's another possibility, is being able to stretch and move and yoga. And then other physical coping skills. So, and we talked about the deep breathing. And I talked about moving the energy. And then you want to make sure that you're taking good physically care of your body so that you're eating healthy and you're sleeping. Now, I will tell you, and I know from myself, from my clients, when we're stressed, one of the number one things that many of us will turn to is sugar. Okay. Now, sugar is not bad in and of itself, but sugar, what ends up happening with sugar is that you actually have a high and then you crash. So it's actually kind of like a drug. So I am going to supporting you to perhaps lower the sugar intake to find other healthier coping skills. Just saying. And I know the holidays are coming up. So finding new ways of coping. Look, and I'm not saying that you can't have anything, never saying that, but I'm just saying moderation, everything in moderation. I was feeling that before. So it's like I really wanted to say it's being in moderation around things. And another thing, like in the mornings, what I find so helpful and so relaxing is I do my morning routine where I have my green tea. It's the first thing that I love to do. To me, tea is so nurturing. And there's something about tea that's just so relaxing. Now, I love my coffee, but there's something very nurturing and relaxing about tea. And so I support you having a cup of tea. Now, if you don't want caffeine, then there's all different kinds of amazing, delicious flavors. I like honey chamomile tea or apple spice. Now's a great time for apple spice, apple cinnamon spice. So having tea, a cup of tea in the morning or in the evening after a stressful day may actually help you to, and of course, doing your breathing, breathing. And then, and definitely you want to make sure that you're drinking your water. Okay. Need to drink water. All right. Drinking the water. And a lot of us need to be drinking even more water than we have been. So drinking water, drinking tea, and then people like to, okay, hot or cold, which one do you like best? I think you're talking water. I usually like room temperature or not too cold, not too hot water. That's what I like. But some people, tea. Okay, that's what I thought you would. Oh, tea. I like hot tea. But what I do is I put an ice cube in so it cools it off a little bit. To me, tea, there's something so soothing about it. So whatever works for you. I love my tea in the morning, and I support you all in discovering if you like tea or what tea works, what feels good. And then you want to take, some of you may be shower people, some of you may be bath people. Now, if you're a bath person, putting like salt in the water actually helps detoxify and cleanse and clear energy. So taking a saltwater bath can be very healing and soothing and calming. So that's another possibility. So that's the physical. Okay. And then there's the emotional coping skills. Now, I talked a little bit about journaling your thoughts, journaling your feelings. So definitely you want to be journaling, letting out. Remember, the most important thing that you could be doing when you're feeling stressed or you're feeling anxious or you're having an emotion or you're not sure how to deal with a situation, journaling can be a powerful tool to help move the energy and also help you get clarity. Like, for example, let's see, you're going through a situation right now and you're not really sure what to do or how to do it. So what if you put at the top of your journal, how do I handle this situation with such and such? Maybe it's a person in your life, maybe person at work, maybe. So how do I handle the situation? And what am I feeling about it? So you want to let out your feelings so that you don't act out your feelings. And acting out your feelings means dumping them or saying or doing things you may later regret. You do not want to be doing that. That's not healthy coping skills. But journaling, letting it out, and being able to write what's going on for you. Or let's say there's a decision you need to be making. What's the best decision for me in this situation? And try journaling and seeing what flows. So try that and see how that works for you. Now, practicing gratitude. Practicing gratitude is a powerful way of being able to help you shift into a higher feeling state. So think of 3 things that you are grateful for. And let's say you're grateful for, I'm grateful for being able to do this show. And I'm grateful for Rebel, my engineer. And I'm grateful for Allie, my assistant. So I have a lot to be grateful for. And I really want to support you in finding the people and the situations in your life. I'm grateful that I live in a beautiful place. I'm grateful that my business is growing. I'm grateful for so many things. And so I just really want to support you in being able to find the things you're grateful for. And Allie says, "Oh, I'm grateful for you." Thank you, Allie. Thank you. So being grateful and having gratitude is a really powerful way to help you shift your energy, to help you shift your state, your emotional state. Now, sometimes you may not feel grateful. You may not be like, rah, rah, rah. You wake up in a bad mood. Well, what I suggest, if you're feeling stressed and you can't find anything to be grateful for, you may want to try a few different things, breathing, journaling, and then try gratitude. Remember, I said using as many skills as you need to in order for you to calm yourself down, to help yourself get into a better state of mind, a better frame of mind. Now, okay, so crying. Let's talk crying. Now, for some people, it's easy to cry, and for some people, it's not easy to cry. And I venture to say it's probably, and this could be a stereotype, but it's probably harder for men to cry. Many men. I'm not going to say all men, because it's becoming more and more okay. So socially okay for men to cry. But for many years, boys were told, no, you can't cry. Big boys don't cry. And what I really want you to know is that whether you're a man or a woman, or whether if you can find a way to cry, sometimes crying could be such a big release. After a good cry, it's like, you feel relief. And if you don't know how to get yourself to crying, put on something really sad. Try putting on a sad movie that you know will get you to cry, and then you can cry. And that could actually be a way to de-stress. So go for the cry. And I want you all to know crying is important. It's a way to de-stress, a way to release energy. We all need to cry, and we all need a good cry to help us through challenging situations, stressful situations. And of course, if there's grief, where there's loss and you feel sadness, it's really important to cry. And I also want you to know that as you go through change and transitions, there is probably grief, because when you may be letting go of a situation that you really are so happy to be letting go of, so there may be relief, but there also may be sadness too. And it's making the space for all of that, for all of you to be able to make the space for all your feelings. And that is healthy coping skills, is allowing. And also the things is, you don't need to act on a feeling. Remember, I was talking about acting out. You don't need to act on a feeling. You need to feel the feeling and move it through your body and breathe. And these coping skills can help you do that. Breathe, breathing. That's right, breathing. And learning to do positive self-talk. So often, we are not talking kind to ourselves. Some of you may be beating yourselves up for things that you should have done, you could have done, you wish you'd done, and none of it is important. It's learning to find the acknowledgments of yourself in present time for all that you are doing, for all that you've done. And if you've made a mistake to a person or a situation, then it's, what can I learn from this situation? What can I learn from this experience? Instead of beating yourself up, look at what you can learn from it. And then you want to be able to keep on going. And using mistakes as learning opportunities. And if you've made a mistake and said something or done something that hurts another person, then apologize. And or make amends depending on what it is. So finding the ways that you can find to calm yourself down, to be gentler with yourself, to have the positive self-talk. And I want you to know I have something that will be a really helpful coping skill. And it's a meditation. And you can go to inspiredandempoweredliving.com/meditation. And so inspiredandempoweredliving.com/meditation. And when you download the meditation, it will help you clear your energy. It will help you connect with your higher self, that wise, unconditionally loving part of you. And it will then help you know or guide you. It can guide you towards the best decision you need to make in a situation or have a question answered. And that's the power. So definitely download the meditation. I also have a PDF. So if you don't do a meditation, you can read the PDF and try it out. Definitely want to support you in doing that. And Rebel's putting the links in the chat. And now let's talk social coping skills. How many of you love to spend time with your pets? Is the PDF in the same place? Actually, yes. What happens is when you download the meditation, it'll say there's a link where you can press, and you can download the meditation, the PDF. So definitely go for the PDF, and you'll see it. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer your questions. So definitely, there's a link where it says download the PDF, and you'll be able to access that when you put in your information. So I'd love to hear how it works for you. Very cool. Now, coping skills. What else? Spending time with your pet. Spending time. And pets are really powerful tools. But they love us unconditionally. They can bring us joy, or they can bring us peace, or they can comfort us. How many times, like if you're feeling sad or you're going through something, you have your dog licking your face, or your cat coming up to you and putting its nose or snuggling up to you. And I've watched, animals are so intuitive, and they know when you're going through something. So spend time with your pets. And when you're feeling stressed, they may be the answer that you need. And definitely, you may want to think about, Anastasia asks, how do we know if we are doing what is best to make a difference? So, Anastasia, when you're in coping, when you're working on the different coping skills, you know that it's making a difference for you because it's calming you down. When you notice that you're doing a coping skill and you're feeling maybe happier or more comforted, like it takes your mind off of, like, petting your pet, and you pay attention to your pet rather than what's going on, and allowing yourself to be loved by your pet and loving your pet. It's a powerful experience. And you know that it makes a difference because you feel calmer, you feel more peaceful, and perhaps helps you get more in balance. You know that you're doing what is best. And again, that's why I suggest that you go through a whole list of different coping skills, so that you can then, if one doesn't happen, then you try the next one, and then you try the next one. Now, another coping skill is, maybe, depending on what it is, you may need to join a support group or a peer group. So that might be something. Now this is I talk about essential self-care. Now, essential self-care is crucial in helping you to feel better. Okay? And essential self-care is really being able to perhaps set boundaries, say no when you need to say no. And so, learning to have the coping skills to say no when you need to say no. And sometimes it can be really hard to say no, but you know that in the end, there's something that saying no empowers you. And it's what you need to do. It may not always feel so comfortable in the moment, but you know it's something that you've needed to do. And so, no is a powerful word. And no means taking care of yourself. And so, we're going to talk more about that. We're going to talk more about what you need to do in terms of setting boundaries, of saying no, and dealing with holiday time. So next week, we'll do a show on preparing for the holidays and what you need to do to prepare yourself for the holidays. And we may continue Not easy. Anastasia says not easy to say no at times. I know. I know, Anastasia. Sometimes it can be really, really hard to say no. But the thing is that when you feel like you need to say no, and even though it may feel hard, if you say yes when you know, KNOW, that you need to say no, NO, what will happen is sometimes you can build resentment or anger at the person. And then you don't want to be doing that. It can end up backfiring on you when you don't say no when you need to. And we'll be talking more about that because during holiday times, it's going to be learning to say no. Okay. So we went through a huge list of coping skills, physical coping skills, really doing what you need to do to take care of your body, emotional coping skills, and really helping you to keep on going during stress and anxiety. And Misty asks, is it okay to know when to say no? Okay, Misty, I am going to get to that question next week. All right. Because I think I think I understand what you mean by that. So when you know how do you know to say no? Okay, we'll talk more about it next week. So join me next week for more inspired and empowered living. And we are live Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern on talk4tv.com, w4wn.com, my YouTube channel. And you can find the podcast on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, Apple, Amazon, and many more. And we will continue to talk more about dealing with the holidays, how to say no, when to say no, and how do you know to say no more next week. And I wish you an inspired and empowered day and an inspired and empowered week. Have a great one, everybody. Bye for now.